Have you always wanted to crack GSOC but have struggled with the proposal, or choosing your own organization, or like what exactly Google Summer of Code is? If that is something that you've been struggling with, worry not. In this episode of Bizcast, I have Pradyumna Bang. He cracked his GSOC in his first year itself, right? And in this episode of Bizcast, he'll be sharing with you exactly how he planned his days, and how did he make his own proposal, and how did he choose his own organization, right? So if that is something that you've been excited to watch, make sure that you watch to the very end. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video, guys. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Hello, Pradyum. Thank you so much for joining me here for this podcast episode. How are you doing there?
I'm doing absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to meet you, because you were the first person that I, saw on LinkedIn that has actually cracked GSOC in the first year itself. Okay, like after my JE Advance, I literally went into LinkedIn and I was searching for people that have cracked GSOC that are in BITS Pilani, and you were the first person that popped up, and I was going through your application and what you did with the open bioinformatics. You use Hyperledger and all. So yeah, I'm actually really curious to know what has your journey been like.
Yeah, so it was a great journey. A lot of my seniors, actually two of them, they guided us. Uh, they also had cracked it in first year itself. So they
Okay.
provided us with great guidance on how we should proceed with, and and they just made us realize that it is possible to crack GSOC in first year.
Yeah.
So I started looking for the organizations that I might contribute to, and I had
Yeah.
a bit of experience with Python, especially Django, because of
And
the
what
college
month
stress and all.
was this in?
So I started in around, I mean, I could say probably in December. I started looking in December itself before the organizations were released. I started looking at them and
Okay.
filtering out which organization has a better probability to get selected into GSOC. And
Yeah.
so I selected two to three of them, and I started browsing their projects.
Yeah.
And I made a Google sheet and put put the organizations according to the priority.
Hmm.
And this was around December to January,
Okay.
around that time.
All right. So you were in your first semester, right? And how did you learn to code at that point?
Okay, so I was part of the team that made websites and all the registration software for festivals in BITS Pilani
Okay.
campus. And
Yeah.
I had experience with Django and Flask and other frameworks. So it was, I think I had an edge from that point. So I
Yeah.
was able to grasp what a project wanted, what most of
Hmm.
them wanted. Although there was always something new that had to be learned, but yes, I had the confidence about knowing this particular framework. So that really helped.
Okay. And what was your proposal like? How did you go about that?
Okay, so I was going to give proposal for two projects. One was in
Okay.
CC Extractor. That was
Yeah.
a Raspberry Pi based honeypot. So I love to play around with Raspberry Pis and all. And it
Yeah.
was a project that involved creating a Flask based application
Okay.
on a Raspberry Pi. And it
Okay.
was pretty interesting. So I
Hmm.
love that project. It was a security related project, like information security related. And so that was one project I contributed to. And the other project, this is, I didn't know about blockchain before that. I had a vague idea, but I hadn't developed anything for blockchain. So I just
Hmm.
cold emailed one of the mentors, and he gave me some pointers to get started, and I did all those steps after the organization
Okay.
was selected. And
Hmm.
so now when the proposal date got close, so my the project that I got selected into, it involved creating a scientific journal using blockchain to have a high degree of trust and to make it decentralized. So
Okay.
before giving the proposal, I read a lot. I mean, I read every blog I could on scientific journals, their problems, then what additions could be made about how Hyperledger works. then I just broke them down into various parts on how I would implement this thing. And I made the broad categories, and then I started filling them up with the help of mentor. Of course, I kept asking for feedback
Yeah.
regularly.
Hmm. All right. And then once you got selected, what was that
Mhm.
feeling like?
That feeling is awesome. Apart from GPL, everything was good. Yeah, so I worked really hard, and as far as I remember, there were some examinations going on. I think we were in mid of I don't know, maybe we were in mid of comprehensive examination or something, and
Yeah.
that is when the results were out.
How did
So
you manage
I
all
don't
of
think I
this? Like constantly contributing to the code base and also studying for comprehensive exam. How did you do all that?
okay. So all the contributions that happened were prior to the comprehensive examination, so I didn't have to really give up anything. So
Hmm.
you know at the starting of the semester, I worked really hard on finding the organizations, and after the midsems, put I put maybe around 4 to 5 hours a day to contribute to the code base. So the two projects that I had selected, so I used
Yeah.
to give about 4 to 5 hours every day, and there were
Hmm.
times that I was not able to figure something out, so I didn't contribute for a few days. But yes, I always try to catch up with them. So it's pretty manageable. If you're dedicated onto it, it's pretty manageable.
Yeah. And are you preparing to do it again this year?
I thought of doing this time I'm more interested in hardware related stuff, more of electronics
Okay.
related stuff. So I tried to look into a BeagleBoard and Arduino. These were two organizations
Oh,
that came this year, and
you're
then
into
more
computer
FPGA.
science and you're interested into electronics. That
Okay,
is
so
strange.
last year it was all computer science, but this time
Yeah.
it's I mean more interested into electronics. I don't know why. Also computer
That's
science, but not just
interesting
computer
because
science.
like the people that are doing electronics are interested into computer science. Like me, I'm into electronics engineering and I'm doing computer
Mhm.
science related stuff, and you are into computer science, you're doing electronics.
Yeah, so we just I'm part of a makerspace in a new makerspace in the Pilani campus, and
Yeah.
so we have been trying to create more products. It's pretty interesting on how you can use a microcontroller to create something that you don't need a full blown computer for, and
Okay.
all those things.
Hmm. So Pradyumna, what would be your biggest advice for people that are trying to get into GSOC?
So my biggest advice that I always gave to my closest friends was that it's not tough. It's not impossible. And it's not really tough.
Yeah.
Compare it to JE, and it's not even one third as tough as JE. So
Okay.
you can easily crack it. All you need is, I mean, you need to be sure that you want to do it, and you need to put hours into it. And
Okay.
I'm not asking for like 8 to 10 hours a day. Maybe like 2 to 3 hours a day, if done consistently over 2 to 3 months, that will
Yeah.
yield you results. And it's
And
not
would it be
impossible.
possible for a person that doesn't know how to code in first semester to get GSOC in that particular year itself?
Okay, so it is theoretically possible, but it's pretty
Yeah.
tough. Why is it pretty
Okay.
tough? Because you don't have confidence to be able to contribute. I mean, whenever you message an organization, you see on the chat room there are tens of other guys who put into the introductions all the skills they have.
Yeah.
They might not have them, or they might just
Yeah.
have very bare minimum experience with them. But uh, it's overwhelming. You have that inferiority complex that you might not be able
Exactly.
to cut it out. So uh, getting doing basic projects of your own will give you confidence.
Hmm.
When I contributed to our festival code base, it was not huge. I mean, I was just learning. I hadn't really done any major project yet. I hadn't done any
Yeah.
production based project yet, which was in production. So even then, just the confidence of knowing something that might be used to create create any website or any uh, portal, just having this
Hmm.
confidence helped me immensely. because I was able to look through the projects on what exactly is their difficulty level. For example, this blockchain project, uh, when I first saw it, I was overwhelmed because it read something like
Yeah.
create a hyperledger based journal that used interplanetary file system to decentralize the functions. So something like something on these lines. It was pretty. I mean, I was zoned out because I didn't know any of these. But from my prior experience, I was able to break them down. Okay, you need a hyperledger is just a blockchain based platform. It's not tough.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. There are tutorials for it. Then I need to
Hmm.
create a portal. Okay, so maybe I'll need some web development experience, right? And then I have to use interplanetary file system. So IPFS it's called. I just
Hmm.
looked I just looked it up, and I realized it's not it's just a decentralized file storage, which I
Okay.
don't need to care about. There are tools to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I was able to break that problem statement into many parts rather
All right.
than getting just overwhelmed and leaving it
Mm-hmm.
altogether. So I think if you have choice, you should get a good experience. I mean, you should work hard on your coding skills in your first semester. But if you don't have it, it's not end of the world. You can still get it, but you need a high level of dedication, I would say.
Yeah, and is there any particular language that you should know that would really help you out in getting a particular organization? First of all, how do you choose an organization?
Hmm. Okay. So uh, regarding this, I would say you probably would want to learn Python or you would want to learn JavaScript and frameworks.
Yeah.
Now remember, only knowing just Python won't help you that much. You
Exactly.
would probably want to know Python and inside it Django or Flask or something like that. Let's
Yeah.
say just Django. Or maybe if you know JavaScript, then don't stick to just JavaScript. Also move on to maybe React or Vue or Angular or something like that.
Hmm.
Because almost all the projects use a framework. They almost never
Hmm.
use just plain
They don't
languages.
use vanilla JavaScript all the time. Yeah.
Some might now don't take my word
Yeah.
for it, but
Most of them
most
don't.
of
Yeah.
them use frameworks. Most of
Hmm.
them use frameworks, and you won't do any harm by just learning the frameworks.
Yeah.
They speed up your development a lot.
Hmm.
So that
And
is
how
it.
has GSOC helped you out after you cracked it? How has that helped you out?
Right. So those months, like 3 months that I worked, they were my original project that got changed by 180 degrees. So I was going to create a backend for the project, and suddenly I got to know that I'll be the one who will be managing the front end as well. So I
Yeah.
had no experience with JavaScript, nothing, and suddenly I had to code in Angular directly. So
Hmm.
at that point, I was like learning JavaScript for 2 hours a day, then also trying to figure out Angular, and at the same time figuring out how to link Hyperledger and everything. So what that really taught me is that I mean, when you have deadlines, you can manage things easily. If I just get started, if I just start learning Angular, and I would probably slack off a lot. But when I had deadlines, I got through it pretty quickly. So.
Hmm.
So if you have projects, if you have deadlines, you can learn anything you want if you
Yeah.
have a purpose behind it. So
All
that was
right.
one of the major learnings out of those 3 months, and I was somehow able to breeze through it. There were days that I had to work for maybe like one day. I remember I had to work for 10 hours straight because I
Wow.
I was chasing a major GSOC deadline, which I was pretty
Yeah.
behind on. I had to
Hmm.
show my project was working, and my mentor was immensely helpful. I mean, I
Yeah.
could reach out to him whenever I wanted, and he was a pretty kind, pretty nice guy. So and very understanding because he also knew that I was struggling with a new framework, uh,
Hmm.
and it was an uncharted territory for me. So yeah, he was a nice guy. He guided me pretty good, and yes, I was able to make it.
Amazing, bro. That's really good. And let's actually talk about BITS Pilani now. How does it feel like for you to study in BITS Pilani? Because I think that the campuses are actually quite different from each other. They're not really connected well. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I study in BITS Goa and I don't know what's happening in BITS Pilani.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, even I'm not sure what goes on in Goa or Hyderabad.
Yeah,
But yes, I would say uh, one of the biggest advantages of bits is the extracurriculars you get into, right? Uh,
yeah.
People try to take initiatives. So we recently introduced a wallet system into our OSS and Apogee and Bosom applications,
Yeah.
mobile applications, and
Mm.
it gave us a huge advantage on all the other projects that we are currently venturing into, because
Okay.
us collaborating on a code base, then hosting it, managing all the DevOps on the server side. So
Yeah.
you learn almost everything you would do on a production, in any company that creates a product. So what Paytm does, we probably have a similar miniaturized version in our own campus for that. So
BITS ka Paytm.
that gives immense confidence and a great edge over your peers
Yeah.
that are locating elsewhere. But yes, I think there is a huge disconnect between all the three campuses. There needs to be more collaboration. But
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe distance is the real enemy over here.
Hmm. And how are you doing? How are you dealing with lockdown right now at home?
Yes, I'm not working. I'm not coding really in these days. I probably haven't written a single line for the duration of
Me too.
the
Me too.
lockdown.
I
And
don't
as I
get the
said, I'm
time.
more interested now. I mean, more inclined or probably more interested towards the electronics parts. I'm reading, few books on those and just trying to figure things out. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
getting bored pretty much. That's
Yeah.
it. Binge watching movies and all. That's it.
All right, bro. Thank you so much for joining me here for this podcast
You're
episode. I
welcome.
hope the audience will be able to learn a lot from this. And yeah, thank you so much. So that was Pradyumna Bang from Bits Pilani. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bitscast. If you did, let me know in the comment section what was the one thing that you enjoyed the most from this talk. Again, thanks a lot for watching this video till the very end. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And guys, if you've been enjoying this series so far, make sure that you go to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating for this podcast. It just means the world to me. You actually taken the little 1 minute to actually go and review the episode and the podcast. So yeah, thanks a lot for doing that. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.